Hey guys, so you ready for today's December 16, 2018, 4:37 a.m. Central Time. So, got off work early, wanted to do a quick video to show you what you're going to be looking at in case you're not familiar with the documents, the Federal Register, or anything, acronyms, whatever, and it's going to prevent you from doing a lot of research if you have no idea what you're looking at. I'm actually doing this video for someone on Twitter, but obviously it's going to have a lot of information that, in general, random firearm owners, especially people who own bump stocks, need to know about where this sits. So the federal bump stock ban. I put enforcement there because that's what we're going to be talking about. This is the point of this video. And I put 2018 so we know what fucking year it is as far as where we're sitting with this document. Not that it is 2018 now. That's basically where we're sitting because it started in 2017. So I'm going to give you this link, this direct link, where what you want to do is click on right here, view more UA, and regulatory plan information and docket details. This gives you everything you need to know if you know what you're looking at, okay? It says, like I said, it started in 2017. It's ANPRM, stands for Advanced Notice Proposed Rulemaking. Again, that came out December 26, 2017. That was the original application from the ATF under the DOJ to change and alter the definition of the machine gun to include bump stocks. This particular thing, when they do an advanced notice proposed rulemaking, it's to put it out into the public, let you know what they're attempting to do. And they'll generally ask you very specific questions, which is what they did. I'll show you. And request you answer them. And they'll get input from the public, okay? And then at that point, either it'll die and they don't go on to notice the proposed rulemaking, which is what they want to do, or it does and then it dies there. So anyway, so it says in here, Department of Justice anticipates issuing a Notice of Proposed Rulemaking, an NPRM, that would interpret the statutory definition of machine gun in the National Firearms Act of 1934 and Gun Control Act of 1968 to clarify whether certain devices commonly known as bump fire stocks fall within the definition. Before doing so, the Department of ATF need to gather more information, comments from the public, blah, blah, blah. So they asked very specific questions, quite a few of them, manufacturers, retailers, and consumers. This particular docket, okay, these two dockets are related. You'll see the numbers are the same. But this particular notice of proposed rulemaking, or advanced notice of proposed rulemaking, got 115,916 comments. If you look through those comments, a lot of them are irrelevant. But anyway, so the comment period for that ended January 25th, 2018, 30 days later. Then what they did is in March 29th, 2018, this year, Notice of Proposed Rulemaking is what started. So they decided to go forward with their idea. And so what they did is they actually changed the definition, okay? They altered it all by themselves by reinterpreting it. This is how departments and agencies are able to reinterpret laws and alter them without having to use Congress. They go and do rules, all kinds of rules, rulemaking. The administration, Obama's administration did it all the time. They did it for Obamacare. They did it for Social Security. They used the IRS. They used ATF. I mean, they did it. They did so many things through the rulemaking process to bypass Congress. This is exactly what they did here. So they said, hey, we're going to be doing this. You know, this is what's going to happen. And effective, this is what's going to happen if we do it and we actually implement it. It says the bump stock devices covered by this proposed rule were not in existence prior to the GCA's effective date and therefore would fall within the prohibition of machine guns if this notice of proposed rulemaking, NPRM, is implemented. Consequently, current possessors of these devices would be required to surrender them, destroy them, or otherwise render them permanently inoperable upon the effective date of this final rule. So this started, again, March 29, 2018, listed here. The comment period for it ended 3 months later, 60 days, actually. Anyway, it ended June 27, 2018, okay? That's where we sit with this. They have said, the Department of Justice and the ATF have said they are going to go through with this. You can read many articles online talking about we're waiting for them to enforce it. If you actually read the NPRM, Notice of Proposed Rulemaking, they pretty much state in here, hey, this is what we're going to do, tough shit, okay? This particular document for comments only got 35,709 public comments compared to the prior document of the advanced proposed rule. So we're just waiting for them to do something. What they do here is it's fall rulemaking, which obviously that's where we're at right now. It's a major rule. Major rule basically means it's changing fucking law. It's going to alter something and actually cause a repercussion to happen in the public, layman's terms. And then it asks, certain questions. Requires regulatory flexibility analysis. It has to do with business. Small entities affected? No. Federalism implications? No. Blah, blah, blah. All that stuff. And it says docket details, rulemaking. There's citations of how they're able to do this. Priority, economically sufficient. Thought that was a cute one, because priority, there's always a cute little reason or of level of priority there. So, but there's a docket ID and the RIN up here, so you can see all the documents that these two documents are related to each other, and you can base it off of that. And then legal authorities, if you actually look up U.S. code, you will see how they're legally able to do this without Congress. So it says final action. They have a date here, December 00, 2018. When they have something like this, in my experience, okay, when they have put a date under final action, okay, usually it'll just say final action and it'll be blank or something. Again, in my experience, when they put a date there, whoever agency's dealing with it pretty much has made up their mind at that point, and they are going to go through with the process. And we all know they are, okay? They just put a date there. A lot of people assumed that it was just going to go into effect in December of 2018 or the end of December of 2018. There was a lot of talk about bullshit of when this was going to be in enactment, but nothing has happened yet. They actually have to have a specific date there. I'm not sure why people were guessing. So they just put it there because that's the year they finished all this shit up. So as soon as this goes through, and they do indeed finalize changing the definition within those two acts to have machine gun altered to basically include it, and it doesn't even make sense. Even the way they are trying to alter the term machine gun in those two acts, it really doesn't even apply to the bump stock, because the bump stock requires a single pull of the way the mechanism works. You're pulling the trigger one at a time. It's single action. It's not, you're not holding a trigger down and rounds are going off. So it technically, in my opinion, and a lot of gun owners' opinions and probably professionals, even if they changed it to say what they want to change it to, the bump stock, the way it's built right now, would not even apply unless it's put on an automatic. Can a bump stock be put on an automatic? Absolutely. Why would you want to stick it on an automatic? I have no idea. Because you pull the trigger, rounds go off. You put a bump stock on it, it's a single trigger pull, so it turns it into a semi-automatic, a very quick one that I guarantee, as I am former military, using a full auto, if you were to put a bump stock on one of these things, in theory, okay, and one of my subs actually did, who was a an FFL. It would be ridiculously inaccurate and hard to control and almost dangerous to do. So the capability, and that's how they're kind of putting it in, and they're able to put it into the terms of machine gun, is because the bump stock can go onto machine guns or automatics. It's not specifically made for semi-automatics, which is what people are using them on. That's the glitch that they're able to do this under. So we're just waiting around to figure out when they're going to do this. Sessions came out earlier this year and said after this notice of proposed rulemaking, they are going forward with it. It's a matter of when. So I'll give you that main link to that one first page that actually has all the information on it. These two I can send, I'll put in 2 different posts to you on Twitter so you have them too, just so you don't have to look for them. They're actually within this document, but it'll just save you some time. So hopefully that helped. If you didn't know what you were looking at, if you knew what you were looking at, well, maybe this video was just for pure entertainment and for the public. Anyway, this is Are You Ready For It? Take care, guys. Have a great day.